Good morning, folks. You're tuned in to Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters to the weird noises and the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We are shifting it into drive. Well, we are officially on hump day, middle of the week. Just a couple of days away from Fun Friday, heading back into the weekend. A bit of a short week for many. Yeah, lots to get done and a short time to get there. That's what I'm faced with this week, so please pray for me, would you? Yeah, lots of deadlines, lots of new things to learn, and constantly moving in a forward direction. As my professor would always say, if you're not moving forward, you're definitely going backwards. Wow, that was deep. Absolutely. Fun Friday coming up. Big reminder, Q&A Saturday. If you want one of your questions answered on the air, you had better get that into me. And my email, the easiest email for you to remember, motormouth, one word, dot, don't forget the dot, Jenkins, Jenkins, just as it sounds, at gmail.com. Motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. I always put that in the description box unless I have a brain fart or a flat line or just a dead spot. Have you ever had that? You walk into a room and you're just kind of standing there and you're going, okay, I'm here for, I don't know. You just kind of circle the wagon for a minute and trying to remember why did I go in there? Yeah, I had one of those just the other day. Went out, hoofing it through the house, through the breezeway, to the shop, get to my toolbox, and I'm standing there. So I'm here for what? And in a couple of minutes. Okay, gotta go. Just came out to have a look around, I guess. Well, good morning to you. If you're just pulling through the drive-thru, let's get things rolling this morning. There's always lots to talk about when it comes to automobiles. So just another reminder, Saturday's Q&A is coming up. That's a 1-hour question and answer period. So I pull the 3 best questions that arrive into my email box, and then I share those out with all the listeners on all the platforms. So remember, we are on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and the like. So wherever you're pulling your podcast from, just in the search bar, Car Connection Workshop. It's that simple. You'll find us. And or go right to our YouTube channel. So if you're subscribed on our YouTube channel, which I hope that you are, I haven't looked at the percentage yet this week, but I'm hoping that goes down. That many of you are enjoying the videos, which is great. Thank you very much to all of you who are enjoying the videos, having a takeaway from each and every one, and especially your comments matter. Leave me a comment. You've got a question, pop it in there on the video, or shoot me an email, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. But you'll find all our podcasts are exporting over to our YouTube channel. And unfortunately, I have to go in every 24 hours and make 10 more season 1 podcasts from private to public. So that avoids our YouTube channel from getting kind of locked down by the algorithms. And if we overload them, that can cause a serious shutdown problem. So I just grouped 10 at a time, and I think I've got it figured out where there was one more step I needed to take on the RSS feed for the podcast to automatically export and go public. So we'll see how that works out on today's program. So you can grab our podcast there. All of season 1 is there. As I mentioned, I'm taking a block of 10 podcasts at a time and moving them from private to public so that you can access them. But they're all there. They are all there, but not all of them are public yet. Can't do that. So enough said on that. Brings us to the biggest drawer in our toolbox, which is our homepage of our website. That is done on purpose so that there aren't so many choices for you to go to. We keep it simple. Stupid? No, that's not nice. Just keep it super simple. KISS. Yeah. So, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com is the email. There is a website form as well on our homepage of our website. Click on the contact tab and a menu will drop down and you'll find it. You will find it instantly. Contact. Yeah. Something like that. Anyways, yeah, there's a website form there. That's correct. Yes, we have a winner. We'll have our morning beverage in just a moment and the daily weather report brought to you by our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, 50 years experience as fiduciaries with IG Wealth Management. These guys are two of the most decorated CFPs in Canada, but I'll tell you what, you'll never hear them mention it. They're very, very humble. They don't need any more clients. They just wanted to be a part of what I've been doing here with Car Connection, and now Car Connection 2.0. You have a lot more ways to connect and engage with us, having YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. We are the professional on that website. Thank you to Skippy, our videographer, who put that site together. My pops lives in Stevensville. Our videographer lives in Stevensville, and she created that website to create a communal website connecting the community to the family-owned operated businesses and eateries in the Stevensville area. So just click on the businesses tab. You'll find our profile page. It's really good. Skippy puts up reels and things like that, bloopers and blunders on Facebook and Instagram. You won't see those videos anywhere else. And we also have an online store. And thank you to all of you who have made a purchase. Grab some Car Connection Motormouth gear and be part of the crew that is battling for those who are struggling through addiction, to help get them the support they need at Total Freedom Addiction Centers in Canada and USA, where a new life waits for them there. So those who are made that decision, today's the day. If I have to eat lima beans for a whole year and really cold coffee, I'll do it, and I'll like it. Those are the folks we're looking to help. They got to be ready and willing and wanting to get to one of the Total Freedom Addiction campuses where that's what they deal with. It's not a program, it's a life change. So thank you to all of you who have been jumping into our online store, making a purchase, getting the right size, the color, and getting it shipped directly to your door. And that is all being taken care of by one of the businesses that runs on the USA campus of Total Freedom, Freedom Expressions. They do t-shirts and paraphernalia, advertising and marketing stuff. They create it right on site. And that's how they're completely self-contained. So they don't get any outside funding, government grants, etc. It's businesses. It's the businesses they have built up on their campus so that as those who are going through the addiction change, the last phase is getting them into responsibility, showing up for a job, getting paid, and the money is set aside from them. They have access to it, but it's still under, discipline. And it's just amazing. So if you have a moment sometime, just click on the link just click on their logo on the homepage of our website and check out Total Freedom Addiction Centers, Canada and USA. It is amazing to see lives being changed just like that. It's just over the top. That's what they do. And so thank you again to all those who have been grabbing some merch on our in and on our online store at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com, ccbusnet.com. And again, all that information, I always plant it in the description boxes for our YouTube videos and our podcasts as well. So I do my best to make sure I'm giving you all kinds of nuggets in the descriptions. So I would definitely and highly recommend that you take the time not to just to scan, but to actually read the description boxes for the YouTube videos and the podcast, because I plant purposely a lot more information and some more nuggets that will help to protect you in the automotive repair business. Because as I've mentioned before, the most popular email I've received in 32 years, we're in our 32nd year of Car Connection, and it would be, Motormouth, can you check these numbers out? Do you think they took advantage of me? Ripped me off, in other words. In your words, that's usually what I see. Do you think they ripped me off? Well, let's take a look and see what's going on. But there's two things that I really need to know in order to determine that for you. Is A, I really need to have a look at the car myself and verify what they did was done, because that's a problem out there. I'm telling you, I'm going to be talking about that when I do the program I spoke about it yesterday, ROs, repair orders. Making sure, if you want to protect yourself, ladies, mostly the ladies at the counter, you have to make sure you're making the service advisor completely fill out the RO, the repair order, with your wishes on there, so that the repair order is where it starts and has to begin if you want to protect yourself from being ripped off. And we're going to get into that, not today, but I'm planning that out so that I stay on track. So, let's get into our morning coffee together before it goes too cold. It's actually quite hot right now. So with this, how we do it. If you're joining us for the first time, you need a 16-pack of Crayola crayons, a folded-up leaf bag, and if you don't have a co-pilot in the car with you, then you can just catch the podcast later, because it will be uploaded, and you can grab all the information from there. But if you do have a Skippy in your car, you say, here's the crayons, take some notes. Take some notes, please. So grab your coffee through the takeout window, whatever that looks like. Double check your order, lock it down, and let's have a swiggy on 3, 2, 1. That's how we do it. Brought to us by City Auto Sales and Leasing. Earl and Louise Grant, husband and wife team. They are car guys through and through. If you or someone you know is on the hunt to make a vehicle purchase this spring, you fire them that way, because they can buy with confidence, be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. They provide amazing, I'm going to say outstanding quality vehicles, low mileage, fair prices. That's why we call them the Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store. So check in with Earl and Louise Grant. They carry a pretty decent inventory under roof and outside. If you check them out and you don't see the vehicle you're looking for, here's the deal. They have the resources to find those low mileage, fair priced vehicles. They don't sell any junk. They don't bring in any junk. They don't sell any junk. That if they take in a trade, they put it in the used car corral and they go away. That's what they do. So if you're looking for something that you just want to grab as a beater, let them know, because they do take in trades, but they don't put them back out on the lot in most cases. So let them know what you're specifically looking for, and let Earl and Louise Grant save you 1,000 steps. How's that? So on 3, 2, 1, let's say thank you to City Auto Sales and Earl and Louise Grant for over 25 years providing fantastic, outstanding pre-owned automobiles. Thanks, Earl and Louise. 3, 2, 1. I put a little piece of ginger in there this morning. I think that's helping with the sinus. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like, is there a rock in my forehead? I don't know. Could be. I remember my teacher saying, Jenkins, do you have rocks in your head? No? Why? Do you need one? I'll go outside and get one for you. That's all righty. Very, very good. Thank you to Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls. Building Canada since 1931. They've been in the Falls. And hopefully we get an opportunity to post some of the black and white pictures from 1931, what Niagara Falls looks like. They have a lot of history posted up at the plant. And that would be great to just be able to maybe snap a small video that you could click on and have a look for yourself. Providing building supplies, all the materials that you need to build your project, whether it's hardscape landscaping or you're looking at adding on a workshop or something, get in touch. And Kathy Grimo, she's at the front desk. Ask if you're in need of a contractor. She has a list of quality referrals. So check in. Nothing beats getting a quality referral to someone who can estimate the job, is easy to work with, starts and finishes the job, and at the end of it, you're super duper happy. What do we got today for weather? Well, let's take a look, shall we? Let's have a look. I don't know. This is the answer. Oh, hang on. We're on the wrong. There we go. We can put this together now. Sure we can. Today, we have, I think we're going to have a high in the 50s. We are. Today, the high for today is 53 degrees. The overnight low is going to be 26. Yesterday, we had some snow flurries yesterday. The high yesterday was 35 and the overnight low was 26. It's a little crispy out there this morning at 4:30. Let me tell you that. 26 degrees right now. Yeah, that's a little frosty. Everything's covered in frost here in the south shores of Lake Erie. Mostly clear, yes. I agree. I can see stars and the moon. Wind is making it feel a whole lot colder, about 25. Clear conditions will continue all day. And today's temperature range from 26 to 53 degrees Fahrenheit. And it will feel like, because of the wind, 23 to 56. How does that work? I don't know. I'm just the messenger. I'm not the message. Enjoy your day. Precipitations, I got 0 on both sides of the map. So no snows, no wetness. Boy, out in the Midwest, they're just getting stinking hammered. One of my favorite channels, the wood box. What's it called? The wood something? The wood something. Chris. Yeah, he's a wood farmer. And he sent some videos out yesterday. 2.5 feet of snow, possibly 3. Yeah, you can keep that there. Absolutely. Let's move on. And speaking of moving on this morning, want to say also a thank you to Crystal Ridge Dream Center for all that they do to help kids, single moms, seniors, widows, orphans, whatever. They are there for them. And every Tuesday, every Friday, they feed hot meals out the door. And they're feeding between 260 and up. 260 people and up. They get no outside funding from anywhere, so it comes from local businesses and people like you and me, serving men and women and children meals, love, hope, and lots of programs available. They have a great single moms, single dads program. A great program for you, just designed for you guys, you fellas and fellettes. Changing lives one at a time in the Niagara region, especially in the times when community support is crucial. Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassion and transformation. They're a nonprofit, faith-based organization. They're out there doing what we're too busy to do. So if you can support them in any way, shape, or form, send them some grocery cards, a one-time gift, become a monthly giver. Maybe you've got some spare time. Check in with them. They're always looking for volunteers because some of them actually really retire and move away. And I'll tell you, they're volunteers. They love what they do there. They really do enjoy their time there and helping out. So thank you to all our program partners, because without them, we simply wouldn't be able to have made the adjustment from radio over to digital and have somebody supporting us as we get our feet anchored in the ground. So help us on all our platforms. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't checked for a while, because here's what I've noticed about the algorithms. For some reason, and I've discovered this myself, that all of a sudden I'll say, oh, I'm not getting any notifications from this channel, this channel, this channel. What happened? And then I go and look, and I'm unsubscribed, and I did not unsubscribe. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos whatsoever. We have a new series coming up. We've just wrapping up some mini series, and 2 posted yesterday, part 1, part 2, and Friday you'll get another video as well. So we upload 3 new videos every single week. So we run a tight schedule, and now I'm working on getting up to 7 YouTube shorts a week as well. So that's something I'm doing on my own. I leave Skippy alone. She has other things to do as well outside of helping us out here in the Car Connection workshop. So this morning's title, but I think before we get right into it, I wanted to share just a follow-up from yesterday. Yesterday was the spring inspection really counts, and I'm bringing vehicles in from our own personal fleet, vehicles we use for getting things done around the homestead here, and as well as life. We're getting life. Life gets busy. Amen. It sure does. Sometimes you need to just kind of take a whole week off just to get things accomplished. I wanted to just follow up on parts, automotive parts. I mentioned yesterday that the best thing I do for myself and my customers and those who come in, that we're shooting videos, we're fixing it, and we've been given the privilege and also allowed to shoot a video on somebody's vehicle. We make sure we protect the license plate, of course, for their privacy, and so they give us permission to do that. I shop it. I got to shop parts like crazy. I've been a Napa guy for 44 years, and I'll be honest, I haven't been able to really support them as much as I have in the past because the prices are crazy. So I mentioned yesterday, I've brought in the shop so far the 99 Honda Civic DX, 2-door hatchback, 5-speed, air conditioning, 1-owner car. And, I got the opportunity, the privilege of purchasing it from the owner, who's been a Car Connection listener now for 32 years. And we continued caregiving. And I'll tell you, my friend Jillian did a great job. So, Jillian, if you're listening, great job, sister, taking care of that car. And it still looks like the day I got it from you, probably even better. Yeah, because I got rid of the decaying sun visors, and the headliner was starting to sag, and I replaced all of that last summer. I managed to find a perfect donor vehicle, exactly the same. It was like deja vu. Same car, same color, 2-door hatch. It was bizarre. It was like that vehicle was put there just for me. So I managed to get all the things that I needed to make this vehicle top drawer. And it went to its very first car show last year, which was that was something I never even thought would happen. But anyhow, it's been in the shop, and we're dealing with a sun-scorched front bumper. It's going to get painted tonight here in the shop. I'll do that myself. And number 2, the muffler's all falling apart inside. And it doesn't have a ton of mileage on since I put it on there. So I went pulling. Here's where I'm going with it. Having a file on every vehicle that you have in your household makes life so much easier. Okay, so that's vehicle number 1. I needed to find out, is that muffler covered? It's turned into cornflakes inside. It's not rotted out by any means on the outside, but the inside of the thing, the baffles are loose, makes a horrendous sound when you drive it. So many of you might go, oh, well, it's not really leaking or anything. But here's the problem. If the baffles come loose and block the tailpipe, the car will shut off. Do you want that to happen? That's the big question. No, I do not want to experience that. You're in traffic and the exhaust pipe gets plugged from the inside of the muffler. And now what? What are you going to do? Yeah, you're stuck. So it's better to get it off of there before it goes to the next level. That's my point. Don't let it go to the next level. So I pulled the file. I found the receipt for the muffler in there, called the Napa guys, and then discovered it wasn't a Walker muffler, because those come with, if you buy the top end Walkers, they come with a 1 year, a lifetime warranty, or a 1 year. I can't remember now. So you get more warranty out of it. And the Walker stuff does last. Well, this was not a Walker muffler, as I discovered on the invoice. It was a something or other I've never even heard of. And I used to work in the exhaust industry for many years during the early 80s when the major recession was on. Apprentices were out of work. And so I got a job in an exhaust warehouse. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot of stuff there, let me tell you. I really did. So I called them. No, it only had a 90-day warranty. If I knew that at that time, I would not have touched that part. If a company can only give me, and I'm putting that part on your car, 90 days on it, what should that tell me? JUNK. Junk. Now, there is a place for that junk. If if you bought something to flip it, or you just want to get a vehicle that you don't need anymore, through safety into the hands of someone else, and you're putting a brand new muffler on because the one that's on there is in bad shape, you're giving them a good head start. Yeah, you're not giving them top drawer materials, but you're also not sending it out with a muffler patched up and looks like something out of a wrecking yard, or even worse. Yeah. So we don't want to do that. So that's a place for something like that. A winter beater, throw the 90-day jobby on there. If you get a year or two out of it, hey, what the heck. So anyways, I installed that muffler in 2021. But haven't put a ton of mileage on the little rocket, the Honda, the 99 Honda, but just the same, it's completely come apart inside. It's over. So I ask, well, how much for like a Walker muffler? $261. I go, yeah, I said, I'm well connected in the exhaust industry. So I said, I'm going to shop it around. I said, I got connections, and they know I'm honest with them. I just say, I'm going to shop it. So I find it on one of my online stores that I like to deal with. Are you ready for this? The Walker muffler quoted $261, $127. See what I'm saying? That's why I'm sharing this with you. $127. $261 before tax, and that's my garage price after 44 years. Yeah, $127 for the Walker muffler. And I got the hardware kit for $10. So I don't waste time with old hardware. You just cut it off and be done with it. I'm not going to wrestle with old hardware, that's for sure. Put a new spring bolt kit in, install a gasket, and you're done. Bing, bang, boom. Hang it on the hangers, you're finished in like less than a half an hour. So there's number one. Number two, the 2007 FJ Cruiser. I talked about that yesterday. The alternator is screaming. Yeah, this is the third alternator. Roughly around every 100,000, that's what I'm saying. The original one lasted the longest, from 07. And then there was a second one, then a third one. So factory one, replacement, another replacement, and now another replacement. But here's where I got sharp on the last replacement. Was replacement number 2. I made sure I was buying an alternator that has lifetime warranty. So there's no mileage or month, and it goes void. Ready for this? That alternator's $662. My cost. $662. The last I bought it was $356. Yeah, that was in 2023. And again, I went to the folder for the 07 FJ Cruiser, and I knew the receipt would be in there, and the warranty card and everything. It was all stapled together. Bing, bang, boom. It's worth your while to keep good records. not smooshed up and jammed in the glove box or behind the pocket in the seat, to actually put a folder together when you have your invoice and you get home and it's all paid for and the car's fixed. Slip it in there. Put the newest ones at the front. That's how I do it. I put the newest ones at the front of the folder. So when I go to the hanging folders and I find it, all the vehicles are in a row in the hanging drawer folder file thingies, and they're by model year. And I pull the folder. Took me all of about 2 minutes, find the receipt, gave him a call. Yes, we have one here. So to avoid prepaying it, so in other words, if I wanted that alternator yesterday and I haven't taken it off yet, it's the 07's coming in the shop for its spring maintenance as well. Oil change, check over. I know I have an axle oil seal that's starting to leak. I can smell it, and I see a little oil there. So we got to assess that, see what it's going to take to make that tight and right again, and anything else that is developed. So if it's not off, you got to buy the next one up front and then get reimbursed for the whole schmeal when you give them the old one. So in other words, if I wanted it yesterday, I would have paid $660 some odd dollars, $62. Let's just call it $660, plus the core, which would be $72 thereabouts, plus the tax, and write them a check for how much? Yeah, over $800. And then take the old one back and get credited back. And I'm like, no, that's a lot of paperwork, man. Just forget it. I'll wait till I have it off. Then your driver can come and we can switch them out. And it costs me Zippo. So if that were your FJ, that's how I work for you. That's why when I say I'm not here and have not been on the air with Car Connection for the manufacturers, for the dealerships, for parts suppliers and parts manufacturers, I'm here for you folks, teaching you what I know and how to work it and how to play the car game. So that's how I play the car game, and I won. I set myself up to win. And that is the key. That's what I'm trying to teach you. So if you're looking to keep a vehicle long term, keep the older vehicle, which is more reliable. I got to tell you that. The quality is better, older is better, and it's more reliable. Period. The stuff that I see going on, I don't know. I shake my head. I go, if you gave it to me, I would say, please take that thing out of my driveway. Thank you very much. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg when things are not covered by warranty. And even if they are, I may have a car down or a vehicle down for 6 to 12 months because they're not prepared to fix their shortcomings. And they get overwhelmed. And then if NHTSA gets involved, the National Highway Traffic Safety Act, because it's a safety-related issue, now all vehicles are grounded. And if they don't have updated parts to get you going again, guess what? Your car down. And that's what we're talking about today. Car down. Now what? Now what? So here's two fleet vehicles in our own personal fleet that are getting their spring checkovers. Everything was fine going into the winter. This is my point. Everything was fine on both going into the winter. There was a funny noise that we heard on the rocket back in the fall, but it wasn't sticking out to me. And I said, we'll catch it in the spring. Let's let it develop a little bit. And it ended up, I didn't even use the vehicle all winter. We kind of tucked it away and said, you know what, let's just save this car from the winter. It's pretty. And it had its first car show last year. So I'm going to take it out to Cars and Coffee in St. Catharines, one of the big churches there. Central Community Church has Cars and Coffee, I believe, on Thursday nights. But I'll get in touch with the coordinator on that and find out and go out and spend some time with the young fellas with their tuner cars and whatnot and let them gaga over the 99 Honda Civic DX two-door hatchback. Air conditioning's cold enough to put penguins in the car. So we'll do once I got it back running here, I will certainly do an air conditioning service and make sure everything's top drawer. And you're not panicking when the heat comes on. So let's jump into this morning's topic with both feet. Season 2, episode 132. And if you go looking for previous episodes, it's all easy peasy for you. It gives you the season and the episode number and also the title of the podcast. So whatever you remember, what you were listening to, you'll find it very, very easily, very, very quickly. So your car down, vehicle goes to the shop on the back of the AAA or CAA or tow truck, whoever come to pick it up. It's car down situation. Now what? Well, just as I talked about, that's why it was a good prerequisite to the topic this morning, is we got to get a diagnosis going. A diagnostics, not a trinostics. Trinostics is where we get the parts cannon out and start splattering it with parts. We don't want to work with those techs. And I'll tell you right now, finding yourself a solid gold mechanic that doesn't wait for your car to break down and come in on the flatbed, he helps you to stop it from breaking in the first place. You find that service tech at a shop that you can trust, you've found yourself a repair shop that's watching out for you and your automobile. That's what we did at Jenkins Automotive and Repairs for 11 years. We worked hard to prevent your vehicle from coming in on a flatbed. We were in an auto mall. We did not want our competitors that lived right next door to us on both sides. We were in the middle, and there's car shops in the whole auto mall to my left and to my right. I never really viewed them as competition. We helped each other out. And there, you know what? As a shop, you can't fix every car. It's not gonna, you cannot possibly do it. We had 500 steady clients, and that kept us hopping because constant maintenance. We had all our customers, our clients, I don't want customers, I want clients. That means they're loyal to you, I'm loyal to them, period. You know, they don't go chasing the flavor of the month. Oh, there's a coupon over there, we'll go over there. Those vehicles are the worst maintained vehicles on the face of the planet. Where they go to this shop, then they go over there for that, over here for this. Don't do that. Get tied in with a solid gold mechanic that doesn't wait for your car to break. He gets to know it. There's the difference. I knew every customer's vehicle, every client in our shop. I knew their vehicles, their daughter, their son, their husbands. I knew all their vehicles. And I could pull their file and check and see what was done last. It was great. And they loved it too because their vehicles weren't breaking down. So when they left from the service, we booked the cars in for their next appointment right away so that we knew ahead of time who's coming. And the clients were really good. If they had to change up, they knew. Don't be afraid. Just call the office and we'll push it out. We'll change it up. That way we're not wasting a spot that somebody else could get because we had a waiting list. I always tried my best to make sure we got people in the door in less than 10 days, less than 7 days, and that we had a little space on our calendar for the super duper can't deal without the car emergency program. Yeah. So we did everything we could to make sure that our clients were getting back out on the road as quick as possible. But we did the maintenance for them. We guided them with maintenance, and we were huge on teaching that. So you need to have, so it's car down. Now what? It's on the flatbed. It's on its way to the shop. Do you have a diagnostician at the shop where your vehicle goes to? Do you have peeps in there, mechanics in there that are top drawer diagnosticians, not parts cannons, where they're going to throw a bunch of parts at it, give you a call and go, well, you know, it needs this and this and this and this. And then the stories start coming out. And that's not good. when I hear the stories, how this is tied in with that, and, the knee bone's connected to the elbow and blah, 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 I start them going right away. Parts canon, we don't know how to diagnose. And that's going to cost you a bundle. So you have to make sure that how do we prevent the diagnostic phase from going through the window and breaking the bank? This is where we will nail it on the program, the podcast I do on ROs, repair orders. The moment you're checking in with your vehicle is absolutely of utmost importance to saving your butt and your wallet from taking a hit. So you have to take the helm. I know many people, they roll their eyes and going, I don't need another thing on my plate. Well, sorry to tell you, if you're wanting to lose weight and get into your mankini, fellas, for the summer, you can't do it from the armchair, eating bonbons and drinking cola or cold snacks. You're going to get bigger. So you're going to have to put an effort to get to the desired result. So it all starts at the counter with the advisor. And I'll tell you this again, no disrespect, but spending a whole week in class all day, every day to learn from the manufacturer that the RO had better be filled out completely if you're wanting to get paid warranty on the job. Miss something and the claim gets denied twice, it's done. So if that repair order had $10,000 worth of warranty work on it, you're getting zero. So they give you 2 kicks at the cat and maybe the hamster, maybe. And it's over. They can't put the claim in again. So now you got to go to the general manager and tell them you just botched up a $10,000 RO repair order and can't put the claim back in. But I found a way that you could, but I never told the general manager that. That was my relationship that I built between the manufacturer's rep and myself. We had a lot of trust, a lot of honesty on the table, and we both respected each other. And I could ask, and I would get. But if the general manager asked, he wouldn't get. He didn't have that rapport. I built that rapport. So anyhow, you've got to make sure that you protect yourself at that point. Diagnostic. So there's 4 levels. The concern, the cause, the correction, and confirmation. We had that drilled into us for a whole week. All 4 things have to be covered on the RO, the repair order. And I say that because this pertains to you. If you don't want to get ripped off, it starts right here with the diagnosis. You don't give them a blank check. Okay? Sequence 1. Cars come in on the flatbed. What's wrong with it? It's an IDK. I don't know. Right? You don't know. I don't know. It's a diagnosis. Sequence 1 is going to be diagnose, vehicle doesn't run. Okay? So don't give them a blank check. What do I mean by that? You're going to give them and make sure it's written on sequence 1, vehicle towed in, no start, diagnose. You're authorizing, and write it right on there. If they won't do it, you do it. I authorize 1 hour of diagnosis time and want a follow-up to discuss further diagnosis. Got that? 1 hour. I am authorizing 1 hour of diagnostic time and then a follow-up to review further diagnosis if required. Sign it, print your name, and date it. And even go further, one step further, the time. Put the time next to it. Now you've given them a check that's fully filled out and signed for 1 hour only. Got it? That's how you protect yourself. That you gave yourself a huge backdoor. They come to you and want to bill you for 2 hours. I authorize 1 hour of diagnosis time with a follow-up and review for further diagnosis if required. Signed, printed, print your name. So, they don't say, well, this could be Elvis that signed this. Can't make out the signature. A sign, a print, a date, and a time, if you like. Now you're locked in. Now they're locked in. Got it? They're locked in. So when they start working on it, they know they're going to get 1 hour. They're only getting 1 hour, and they better have their poop together when they have to call you. And then you can tell them at that point, best way to connect with you, email, Zoom call, send me a video, or text me, or phone. So 5 ways of communication. You let them know right there on the spot, and make sure that's put right on the work order. Customer contact prefers text, email, phone, Zoom, video, or other. Smoke signal, and perhaps maybe a carrier pigeon. I don't know. Maybe those could be added in as, potential alternates. So I say that to say that's where it begins, ladies. That's where it begins. You're in the driver's seat. It's your automobile. It's your cash. You got to make sure you put a lid on it so that the parts cannon does not come out of the closet and bury your bank account. Number 2, right on the work order, I require estimates on any further repairs to be discussed before giving authorization. If you have to handwrite it on there, you handwrite it on there. And again, whatever request you're making on the work order, the repair order, you make sure you've signed it, printed your name, and dated it, and even go as far as putting the time on there. Now you're protected. Number 2, there's your safety net. Number 2. So here, what are we trying to prevent here? The parts cannon. Yeah, Trinostics. Trinostics are killing people in the repair shops. Yeah, throwing parts at it till they get it right. That's not diagnosis. That's Trinostics. Step number 3. To decide to fix it or not to fix it. And I tie that in with step number 4. Careful. Be careful with knowledge before deciding. Okay, so number 1. I don't care what the vehicle's worth curbside. Just forget about it. Just forget about it. Exactly. That's a sales marketing plan. That's getting sucked into being a consumer instead of a prosumer. So, here's what you got to do. You got to take a step back. You got to say, what is this whole entire ordeal going to cost? So, again, you can add that right onto your repair order before you give the keys in. I require a fully disclosed cost, labor, and parts before go-ahead is given. Sign it. Sign that line. Print your name. Sign it, print, date, and time if you wish. Now your work order is completely locked in. You've got 3 stages. You've protected yourself on the diagnostic, so we're not getting 5 hours of diagnostic time. A really good automotive tech should be able to diagnose within an hour, unless it's something super weird. And we can come across that. But that's where communication needs to happen. Communication needs to happen. And if you don't start that communication right at the time you bring the car in and fill that repair order out correctly, there will be no communication. Because here's something I learned about being involved in radio for 31 years. They all work in the non-communication communication business, let me tell you. Thank goodness they didn't work for the car manufacturer I work for. They were all been put to the curb like a garbage can. They would have been done. The suits come at 5 on Friday. Somebody's leaving. Yeah, and probably doesn't even know. That's how it would work. The 5 o'clock surprise. Suits are here. Somebody's going. That's how that works. They would never get away with it. Never. So, diagnose. Protect yourself. Assess the cost. You want to know exactly what it's going to be. Parts, labor, and tax all in, out the door. That protects you. Number 3, to fix it or not to fix it. Here's where take a step back. Who cares if it's a $200 car curbside? I could care less. It's paid for. If it's solid and the foundation is solid, it's not rotted out, engine's running good, transmission's working well, and it's maintained, then I take a look. If it's $2,800, I just throw that number out there. It seems to be a magical number on a lot of repair orders that I've reviewed lately. $2,800 seems to be the magic number. You go, okay, if I went and bought another vehicle today, how many car payments would it be to meet the $2,800? And then that's going to be a vehicle that's going to have service and repair as well. Unless it's brand new, you're going to have some kind of lame warranty from the manufacturer. I just saw something that actually made my head spin. Was Chrysler. Yeah, they really stepped up to the plate with their warranty. 7 years. It's $770, I think it is what I saw. I will double check that. And I kind of did give my age away. Linda Blair head rotation, all the way back to the front, and went, wow, that's saying something. I will double check that and find out exactly what it is, because I was just skimming through. I was lighting the fireplace, and I don't read newspapers, just the local newspaper to see what's going on in town, because if it's in print, it's got to be true. And a lady drops off bags of newspapers for me, and I'm, as I'm crumpling up and making twisties to get the fireplace going, I came across that newspaper article, and I think she reads the Niagara Review. So, and I went, wow, that's like, I didn't hear that one. So I'll do some homework on it. I think Chrysler may have stepped up to the plate and maybe starting a bit of a warranty war, which wouldn't be too bad. Like I said, 90 days on a muffler. Come on, folks. You know what that tells me about your product? Not a whole lot of confidence in your product, which means what I can't see that you put together inside the muffler is probably nothing but hoopty. Yeah. It's not like you can cut open a muffler. Can I have a look at that inside first before I pay for it? Not going to happen. So now you know that product is only good for 90 days. Anyhow, so here's where you want to slow it down. What's the ultimate repair? Out the door, all in, fixed up, and the vehicles, if you haven't had it evaluated in a while to see how it's doing health-wise, that would be a good time to have that done as well. So you can make a decision with what? All the information. That's what you need. Make a decision to move forward and continue with that automobile based on all the information, not just some. All of it. So you can then make what? An informed decision. So many people botch this area up. That's why I'm parking on it a little bit. Do not botch it up. You've done everything to this point. Car down. Now what? Diagnose, assess the cost to fix it or not to fix it. Number 4, careful with knowledge before deciding. Don't botch it up. Take a look at the big picture. Get the emotions back in the box. Okay? We don't want any amygdala hijackings here. You can Google that later. It's real. That's where when emotions are high, intelligence is low. That's how that works. Why did I have to study that? Let me tell you. The intense moments of fellowship between husband and wife in my waiting area at my shop. There were times where I'd have to take them. Can we just take this out into the shop for a minute? Yeah, because they're going at it. Why'd you let this happen? Blah, blah, blah. Then, yeah, nuclear holocaust, just like that. And I'm just standing there going, at that time, our shop rate was $65 an hour. I go, can I step in just for a moment? I got other work to do. You're going to be a while because my hourly rate is $65 an hour. If you want me to stand here and monitor your discussion, somebody's got to pay me for my time. And I'm actually working for you right now. And they'd get to a decision very quickly. So that's how I learned about when emotions are high, intelligence level drops almost to zero. It's called an amygdala hijacking. It's a little almond-shaped thing that we have in our brains. When the emotions get going and cooking, the amygdala gets out of control. So Google that sometime today and fact check me, okay? So you got to learn this stuff. So when you're having to make a decision and faced with, do we fix it? Do we dump it? Do we donate it? Do we send it to the you pluck it department at the wrecking yard? And it'll be just ripe for the plucking. That's good for somebody else, but it may not work out good for you because the decision may be wrong. Okay? We want to slow it down. As I already mentioned, forget about what it's worth curbside. If it's paid for, it's structurally sound, then everything else on that vehicle is serviceable, repairable, or replaceable. Period. One cost. So I come back to our FJ. If I had to pay for that $660 alternator plus tax and labor, would I pitch it to the curb? It's an 07. You know, that's quite. I hear this from, well, you know, that thing's quite old. I don't know why. Why are you putting money into it? And I go, it's paid for. Oh, that's what I usually hear. Oh, I said, yeah, it would just be smart to fix it, would it not? $660. Alternators wear out on every vehicle. Starters, alternators, tires, brakes, exhaust, steering, lights, wiring, radiator, thermostat, oil, filters, wipers, etc., etc., etc. It happens on everything. So whether it's older or whether it's a couple of years old, stuff where it's wear and tear. And I'm really a firm believer in planned obsolescence based on the quality that I see in the parts on vehicles and all the plastic coming out. Honest to goodness, if they could make the whole car out of plastic, you just have to put it in your blue box when you're finished with it. Oh, you might get tagged. You might get blown in by the curbside fellas. That could possibly happen. So I'm making light of it, but it's important. Don't get sucked in to the car game and be a loser at it. You can be a winner, an absolute winner that crushes it, putting money back in your pocket. So if you got a bill of $2,800 to get this vehicle back in working order, divide that by 12 months, would you? Could you do that math? Yes, you can. Just take that number and divide it by 12. That's going to tell you how much that vehicle is costing you over the next 12 months per month to run it. I guarantee you, all of you, that it will not even come close to the cost of making a couple of car payments. Or if you divide 2,800 by 12, it's not even going to come close to a tank of fuel. You're not going to get a car payment for around a tank of fuel. It's not going to happen. Not realistic. So you see where I'm going with this? That's how you play the car game, folks. Yeah, my FJ Cruiser. I could probably sell it for $25,000 in a heartbeat. Why? Because they don't make them anymore, and everybody keeps leaving a note on my windshield. Call me if you're interested in selling it. And that's what you'll pay for an 07, around $25,000. The lady I bought it off of paid $42,000 to $44,000 for that in 07, brand new. That was a lot of money then. That was a ton of money back then when vehicles started hitting 30, 35, 40, 55. And now what? Yeah. A Silverado pickup truck. Check that out sometime, how much they are. It'll blow your freaking mind. There's no stinking way I'm going to pay $100,000 for anything that is made of sheet metal and rubber. Unless it does like 300 miles an hour. Yeah, but where are you going to drive that fast? Just the same. You buy a high-performance vehicle like that, you got to remember one thing. Where do you get to actually really stretch its legs? You got to go to a racetrack somewhere and get a membership and get your license to run on the track and stuff. It just gets ugly. There's a place for that. The Autobahn. Exactly. Going on vacation with my car to drive the Autobahn. Unlimited speed limit. But that's not happening. So just a quick review. Car down, now what? Number one, diagnose. Repair order, tie it in at 1 hour. Lock it up. Number two, assess the cost. A complete estimate, parts, labor, tax, all in price. Lock it down. Number three, the decision to fix it or not to fix it. Tie that in with number four. Let the emotions drop off. Oh, another thing on this freaking car, this old jalopy, this collector's piece. Come on. Careful with knowledge before deciding the fate of that automobile. What is the total cost? Divide it by 12. Take a look at the number. The vehicle's solid. You know the car. And it's reliable. Done. It's a done deal at that point. A done deal. I don't even think about it. I shared 2 vehicles from our personal fleet. Would I trash the 99 Honda Civic DX with almost 300,000 K on it for a muffler? Pull the front bumper cover. It needs just some cosmetic. I like to stay ahead of the cosmetic stuff because you know what? Then they look like new. I don't even feel like I'm driving an older car when I'm in there. I'm driving a little sports car, a race rocket. Yeah, that's why we call it the rocket. So anyhow, that's how you do it. That's how you win the car game. So till tomorrow, happy Wednesday. Make it a great one. Have an extra 30 seconds for lunch today. That's on me. And we'll see you tomorrow morning. You're tuned to the Car Connection Workshop with your host, Niall Motormouth. Jenkins in the driver's seat. I got to shift gears and get out of here. I got stuff to take care of to be prepared for the rest of the day and tomorrow, and I'm sure you do as well. Like, share, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, do all those things to help us grow our platforms. Jump into the merch store, grab a little something. Know that you're helping us to help those who are battling addiction and ready to deal with it. And number 2, peace, patience, and kindness. Happy, healthy motoring always. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another edition of Motormouth's Morning Drive. Bye for now. We'll see you in the next one.